welcome to the first episode of Dancing with the Diva with the Diva herself, where we're going to be talking about all things Dancing with the Stars, including debriefs and what I would personally score them. So let's get into it. The first couple that went up was Jordan Charles and Ezra. I personally love these people both dearly, so I'm rooting for them to go far. They did the salsa to Break My Soul Beyonce, slay. But thought their costumes were very good, very her, since it was theme song week or your personal anthem. Derek gave her a 5 and Bruno gave her a 5. I personally think they could have done with a 6. That's what I would have given them, because I do think they did really good for week. The next couple that went was Dylan Efron and Daniela. Personally, I wish it was Zac Efron, but that's another topic. They did the cha-cha to Milkshake, which was everything. Love that for him. Their costumes are very blue and flowy. I really liked it. It gave just whimsical. They also both received 5s, which I would agree. I would also give them a 5 because I do think they did equally as well as Jordan and Ezra. The next couple that went was Elaine, Hendrick, and Alon. They did the cha-cha to Woman by Kesha, which was everything. Love a woman empowerment moment. Their costume is very classic and like a flapper moment, which that always hits. They received both 6s from Derek and Bruno, which I don't agree with. I would personally give them a 5 just because I don't think they did better than the couples before them. The next couple that went was Whitney and Mark, who did the tango to a song from the new K-pop Demon Hunters movie. They gave very like cool dark vibes with their costumes, which I loved. They got like the second highest scores of the night, which was a 7 and an 8, which I personally don't agree with. I personally would give them a 6, just because, like we said, I don't think that they did really that much better than the couples before, and you gotta leave room to grow. The next couple that went was Baron Davis and Britt. They did a cha-cha to Can't Touch This, which was such a fun vibe. It really brought up the mood. Their outfits or costumes match the vibe as well with the hammer pants. Love it. They both received 5s from Derek and Bruno. Personally, I would give them a 4. I'm not going to take it easy on the older contestants. I do think they still need to put in the work, and I do think that the dances prior were better than them. Next couple that went was Alex Earl and Val, and they did the cha-cha to Circus, which already won in my book because I am a Britney stan. Their costume was probably my favorite one. I loved the red with like the orangey or the red with the orangey and blacks. Love it. They received a 7 from Derek and a 6 from Bruno, and I'm gonna have to agree with Derek on this. I do think that she ate. Her technique was good. She was very clean and sharp. She just needs to work on that fluidity. The next couple that went was Scott and Riley. Scott is from Pentatonics. Love him down. They did the tango to Abracadabra, which Gaga's always everything. Loved their costumes. They're very glam and white and just classic. They each received a 5 from Derek and Bruno, which I wouldn't agree. I think they did really good. So especially with the showmanship, I think Scott killed it, and I would have given them a 6. Next couple that went was Danielle and Pasha Topanga. They did the tango to Stronger by Kelly Clarkson, everything. Their costumes gave very blue, very mermaid, which I loved. They each received a 6 from Derek and Bruno. Personally, I would give them a 5. I feel like they were right like in my middle range of my rankings for tonight. Nothing to remember, but did good. The next couple is Jen and Yan, who did the salsa to a song by Bad Bunny. I don't want to butcher their song title, so. Theirs was very orange Q, very salsa, so it makes sense. They each received a 6 from Bruno and Derek, but personally I would give them a 5. Like I said, it's first week. We needed some room to grow. The next couple that went was Corey and Jenna. Love him already. Love his vibe, love his attitude. They did the tango, didn't catch the song, but it gave very much rock and roll with their costumes, which I love. They got a 4 from Derek and a 5 from Bruno. I would agree with Bruno with the 5, but just because I love him, I kind of do agree with Derek with the 4 because they could have been more technique in dancing. Next was Lauren and Brandon, who did the tango to Yes and, which love Ariana, so that's already a win in my books. Their costumes could have been better. I think they were my least favorite of the night. They received a 7 from Derek and a 6 from Bruno. Personally, I would give them a 5. I don't even remember the dance. That's like, so you need to do better. The next couple that went was Andy and Emma, who did Cha Cha to Hold On, I'm Coming Home. Their costumes were really cute, fit the vibe. Derek gave them a 5, Bruno gave them a 4. I'm going to agree with Bruno. I think he could have stepped it up, shown him a little bit more rhythm. The next couple that went was Hilaria and Gleb, and they did the Cha-Cha to Let's Go Loud by J-Lo. Loved the feathers, loved the neon green on their costumes. They each both got a 7. Personally, I would give them a 6. I think that they were pretty average and they didn't necessarily do better than the other ones who scored lower than them. The last couple that went was Robert and Whitney. They did the Jive to Born to Be Wild. Loved the costumes, loved like aqua safari theme. They got an 8 from Derek and a 7 from Bruno, which I am gonna have to agree with the 8. He actually killed it. They did really actually save the best for last. It was pretty impressive, and I'm excited to see him next week. So that was the end of the season premiere of Dancing with the Stars, Dancing with the Diva Debrief. Come back next week for the One Hit Wonders theme, and see you Wednesday.